So, have you heard about one of the hottest new careers in tech? Today, we're going to break down exactly what it takes to become a prompt engineer. We're going to build out your personal roadmap for success in this crazy age of AI, step by step.
Okay, let's kick things off with a really powerful idea. In the job market we're in right now, skills in artificial intelligence, they aren't just a nice to have anymore. They're becoming essential for real career stability. The truth is, knowing how to work with AI can make you an indispensable asset. And that right there is exactly where prompt engineering fits in.
All right, let's get right into it and start with the basics. What exactly is this job? Well, at its core, it's all about being the translator between our human ideas and what an AI can actually do. Now, before we can even talk about the engineer, we have to understand the prompt. Think of it as the most basic building block, right? A prompt is just the instruction you give an AI. It could be a question, a command, anything really to get it started. It's the input that gets you the output.
And that brings us to prompt engineering itself. This is where the magic happens. It's both an art and a science, really, of carefully designing, testing, and tweaking those prompts over and over. The goal isn't just to get an answer from the AI, it's to get the best possible answer. It's a whole process of creativity and refinement. Here's a great way to picture it. Imagine an AI is like a magical book that can tell any story in the universe, but you have to ask for it in just the right way. A prompt engineer is the person who's figured out the secret words. They're the storyteller who crafts the perfect question to unlock the perfect story every single time.
Okay, so we get what it is, but why is this career just exploding in popularity right now? Well, it all comes down to its unique spot as the critical human link to all this powerful machine intelligence.
So what does a prompt engineer actually do day to day? They're the bridge. They take a regular human question and translate it in a way that lets us cross over and tap into the huge, complex brain of an AI. They're the ones making sure the AI's answers aren't just technically correct, but are actually tailored, insightful, and genuinely useful to a real person.
Okay, so you get it. You see the value and you're thinking, I'm interested. So how do you actually get there? Let's build your roadmap to becoming a pro.
First, you've got to have the right knowledge base. It all starts with the basics of AI, of course, but it also means getting into things like natural language processing, or NLP, which is basically how computers learn to understand human language. You'll definitely need some programming skills. Python is usually the go-to, so you can test your ideas. And this one might surprise you. A good sense of UI/UX design is actually key. You have to understand how a real person is going to interact with the AI you're teaching. So here it is, your 5-step path from learner to pro. It starts with a solid foundation, usually something like a computer science degree. Then you've got to get your hands dirty with code. Step 3 is all about taking what you've learned and using it in real projects. Number 4 is the one people always forget, network. This field moves so incredibly fast, so knowing people is crucial. And finally, you build a portfolio to show off your skills. It's all about showing employers what you can do, not just telling them.
Following that path takes some real dedication. So what's the payoff? Let's talk about the demand for this job. And of course, what you can actually get paid.
The demand for this skill set is just skyrocketing. And why? Because as more and more companies in literally every industry, we're talking healthcare, finance, entertainment, you name it, start using AI, they need experts who can make those tools actually work well. Prompt engineers are becoming absolutely critical for a business to succeed. And here are the numbers that really tell the story, right? This chart breaks down what you can potentially earn. And look, even at a junior level, the salaries are pretty competitive. But as you get some experience under your belt and move up to mid-level or senior, you can see a huge jump. In the US, senior prompt engineers can pull in salaries well over $90,000, which just goes to show how valuable this expertise has become.
So where are these jobs? Well, it's probably not going to surprise you that the biggest names in tech are leading the charge.
Yep, we're talking about the absolute giants of the tech world. Companies like Google, Microsoft, Amazon, and of course, OpenAI. They are all actively hiring for this role. And look, when the biggest players in the game are investing this heavily in a position, you know it's a legit career path with some incredible opportunities.
And that brings us to our final thought. As AI keeps weaving itself into every part of our lives, and it really starts to shape our future, the most important question is this: who are the translators going to be? Who will be the storytellers that teach these powerful systems how to understand us?
After today, you know the answer. The only question left is, could it be you?